The secret behind Shiga becoming the longest lived prefecture in Japan. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai diet and Ikigai biohacking. Okay, so in the last video, I shared with you the top 10 longest lived prefectures in Japan based on the average life expectancy ranking by prefectures by the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare. And Shiga came in first. Okay, so today I would like to share with you the secret behind Shiga becoming the longest lived prefecture in Japan. Now, actually, the key factor is not what you think. Yeah, if you want to know, please watch until the end. Okay, so I shared with you this video 2 years ago. It's called 7 Longevity Secret of Shiga, a Japanese Blue Zone. Now, this is based on the 2015 ranking when Shiga came in first for men and came in fourth for women. Yeah. And then in this video, I shared with you 7 secrets, which are preventative medicine, non-smoking, sports and volunteer activities, seniors don't live alone, reading many books, eating fish, fermented foods. Now, so this time it's a little changed. It's because I'm basing the most recent kind of report. Yeah. So the Shiga Prefectural government issued a report on December 23rd, 2022, which is the day when the Japanese, the Ministry of, the Welfare released the prefectural ranking. Yeah. On the same day, the Shiga government issued this report called "This is the secret behind Shiga's longevity." Yeah, so this is the most recent report. Okay, so in the report, they talked about lifestyles and living environment. And for the lifestyles, the high number of non-smokers, the low number of heavy drinkers, many people engage in sports, many people engage in learning and self-improvement, many people engage in volunteer activities. And for the living environment, low unemployment rate, short working hours, high average income, low income inequality, numerous libraries, few elderly people living alone. Now, let's look at lifestyles carefully. For the first two, the high number of non-smokers, the low number of heavy drinkers. Now, actually, Shiga is number one for the number of non-smokers. Yeah, so this is a great factor in Shiga. Now, but you don't think this is anything special. It's more like a common sense, really. Yeah. So if you want to live long, don't smoke and don't drink too much. Yeah. However, this actually, changes a lot in the ranking because, Aomori Prefecture, which is the bottom of the ranking. Yeah, I think it is at the bottom for the 5 consecutive times or something. And then number one factor for them not living long is that they smoke. Yeah, they have the highest number of smokers, plus a high number of people, who drink a lot. Yeah, so those two factors actually differentiate Shiga from other prefectures. Yeah. And many people engage in sports and many people engage in learning and self-improvement. So those are significant factors. So I'd like to kind of spotlight on those two areas today. Yeah, the rest are pretty much the same as my video 2 years ago. Right. Now, so for the sports, Shiga is the second highest in the country for men, meaning the number of people who participate in sporting activities is the second highest in the country, and for women, sixth highest in the country. Yeah, and this is true for my observation too. I see a lot of people doing sports these days. I go Nordic walking and jogging almost every day. And then recently, I see other people who jog or walk or Nordic walk. Yeah, in my neighborhood. I live in a very rural area, so there aren't many people. But still, recently I see, one, two, or about three people are doing some kind of exercise. So exercising is becoming popular, and other people do, different sports like, swimming, playing soccer, basketball, and so on. Yeah. And also, the fact that we are holding National Sports Festival in 2025, yeah, the prefecture is promoting sport a lot because of this. And then we have a campaign called Kenko Shiga, which means healthy Shiga. Yeah, so both sports and any kind of health related activity, the prefectural government is pushing a lot. Yeah, partly to promote this sports festival too. Yeah, so that is kind of helping, and also we have Lake Biwa, and then there's another campaign. This is also kind of tourism campaign, but Biwaichi, which is cycling around Lake Biwa. Lake Biwa is the biggest lake in Japan, and everybody in Japan knows Lake Biwa. In fact, most people don't know about Shiga, but they know Lake Biwa. Yeah. So the prefecture is trying to promote Biwaichi using the Lake Biwa's fame to attract more tourists coming in. So many cyclists are coming to Shiga, but also within Shiga, more people are becoming interested in cycling. And then I see a lot more cyclists these days. Yeah. And in fact, I went BY, I did BYH last year. I made a video about it. Yeah, BYH, a 60-year-old Japanese biohacker challenges cycling around Japan's biggest lake in one day. Yeah. Um, Also, this Lake Biwa is the place for swimming. I mean, this year, this summer, I went this place to swim like 4 times already. Yeah. So many people swim in the lake and they, do windsurfing and, lots of other kind of marine sports there. And swimming itself is very popular in Siga, whether it is a lake swimming or, swimming in the swimming pool. In fact, it is the fourth in the country. Yeah. Um, Also, many people go mountain hiking, and that is pretty common. I hear a lot of people sharing their Facebook post about, going mountain hiking the last weekend and so on. Yeah. And this is because we have many low mountains, very easy to climb mountains, you can just, I mean, there are mountains everywhere. Actually, the Lake Biwa is surrounded by a lot of low mountains and easy access. I mean, in like maybe 20 to 30-minute drive, you can find some mountain, and it takes only 3 hours to go up to the top and come back. Yeah, so you can do it casually. While in Nagano, many of the mountains are very high, like 3,000 meters high and so on. So mountain hiking is a kind of serious business. Yeah, you need to be quite fit to do it. But here, it's more like you can do a leisurely, comfortable, hike there. Yeah. And then interestingly, Tabata protocol, which is a part of HIIT, high intensity interval training. So this is from SIGA. Yeah. So Tabata was developed by Professor Izumi Tabata at Ritsumeikan University, Faculty of Sports and Health Sciences. Now, this faculty is located in Minami Kusatsu in Shiga Prefecture. So technically, Tabata is from Shiga. Yeah. Unfortunately, Tabata is not spread so much in Shiga necessarily. I mean, it is a worldwide popular activity now. But in Shiga, I mean, some people do it, but not everybody does it, or many people don't know about it. Yeah. So this is something we can look into in the future that maybe promoted, since it is from Shiga. Maybe every town, for example, can give a class on Tabata and so on. So maybe I will maybe speak to the town, the town hall about it. Yeah, to maybe bring a Tabata class to my town. That would be great. Yeah, one thing I would say is kind of recent scientific discovery is not, practiced yet. Yeah, like I had this kind of a health kind of counseling or kind of medical counseling after my annual medical checkup, which actually I did wonderfully. I had an incredibly record, and the counselor was very surprised too. But anyway, the counselor didn't even know about David Sinclair. She didn't know about autophagy. She didn't know about all the current discovery about health and longevity. So which is kind of pity because if we can incorporate the modern discoveries, yeah, and then yeah, I think we can upgrade our health status even more. Yeah, so that's something I might suggest to the local government and even the prefectural government too. Right. Okay, so the next, many people engage in learning and self-improvement. Yeah. So as for the library, we have many libraries, but what is significant is the number of books borrowed is the second highest in the country. Yeah. So having many library doesn't mean much unless people use them. But many people use libraries in Shiga, and I know why. Because libraries are so beautiful. Yeah. View is fantastic. This is our local library, but we have a great view. But I've been to some other libraries too, and then they all have a great view. Yeah. And then the selection of books is fantastic too. They have lots of good books. And I'm from Tokyo. Yeah. I am used to using city libraries, but here is a small library in the countryside, yet the selection is the same or even better than Tokyo, I would say. Yeah. And then they have this magazine section where you can kind of sit down and read the magazine, and they have the current issues, the latest, issues. So it's more like a cafe, but it is free. Yeah, it's great. Um, and then we have a lot of opportunity to study too. There are many lectures held in different city, I mean, the town or cities, yeah, organizes lectures or some private event. And there are some universities in Siga too. They offer some courses for, outside university people too. So, and then this is the fifth highest in the country for men and sixth highest in the country for women. And yeah, many people I know often talk about like they attended this lecture last weekend and so on. So it is quite common to do some kind of learning and self-improvement. Okay, so let's look at living environment closely. Now, low unemployment rate is the second in the country, and short working hours, ninth in the country. High average income, fourth in the country. Low income inequality, second in the country. So this is important. So high average income, meaning, people sort of comfortable enough and therefore they have a more space and time to kind of do sort of healthy activities and so on. Yet low income inequality. So most people are relatively comfortable. That is the critical point. And numerous libraries, 14th in the country, and few elderly people living alone, the first in the country. Yeah. So usually in the countryside, more elderly people live with their children and grandchildren compared to cities. So in that sense, they can have more ikigai in the countryside. Yeah. But Siga is number one, which is significant. Yeah. Yeah. In my town, too, I know a lot of elderly people living with their children, like, they have a big family. So that is a significant factor about Siga. However, other than this, none of them is number one. Yeah, that's the second or ninth, that's the 14th. So it isn't like Siga is the first in everything. Yeah. But we are kind of a moderately good level on average. And that seems to be the key. Yeah. So improving diverse areas seems to be the key to longevity, not necessarily having, excelled at one area, such as, physical health. Yeah. But just doing well, not necessarily the best, but doing well in all area seem to be the key. Yeah. So the balance is the key to longevity. Yeah. Having a good balance. Yeah. Okay. So 4 commonalities among Japanese blue zones. I made a video on this maybe 2 years ago. Yeah. Basically comparing Japanese blue zones, which are Nagano, Shiga, and Okinawa. Yeah. And then I came up with all 4 commonalities. One is Satoyama lifestyle, which is a kind of circular lifestyle in the countryside, growing vegetable, maybe growing rice, or, working in the mountains and just living sustainably, and that lifestyle itself give you opportunity to move naturally and physically active. Yeah. And then the community support, and having, like neighborhood associations and so on. And Ikigai, because of this community support, you can have Ikigai, and because of a Satoyama lifestyle, because you have something you enjoy doing, then you can have your Ikigai and so on. And then Washoku diet. Yeah, the Japanese diet is definitely the key to Japanese longevity. Now, this time, I didn't talk about Washoku so much because that's the same everywhere in Japan. In fact, there isn't a significant difference, yeah, about the diet among all those prefectures. So Shiga's diet isn't necessarily better than Nagano's diet, or Kyoto's diet, or Okayama's diet. Yeah, diet are pretty much the same except a few things is, the salt intake. Some Tohoku regions, they tend to have a higher salt intake. And well, Shiga and Nagano too did a salt reduction movement. The government deliberately encourage people to reduce the salt intake. So that's one difference. But other than that, usually there isn't significant difference. Okay. So based on the latest report, I added 2 factors. One is physically and mentally active. Right. So by practicing Satayama lifestyle, you automatically become physically active. Yeah, but mentally, not necessarily. Yeah. And then, so I talk about mental life, but mostly more mental state, like, having a positive mindset and that kind of thing. But this time it's more like a sort of academic sort of thing, like a sort of academic stimulus. Having some intellectual activities might stimulate your brain. So it is actually great for your brain health. Yeah. So always, keep learning is important. I have uncle who used to be a university professor. He was a professor of English literature, actually, and he's now over 90 years old. And the last time I saw him, he told me that he was learning Hebrew. Yeah. And then this is to just, improve his, focus and brain. Yeah. So like picking up a language or something is always helpful. Right. And then the last one is being all-round player. You don't need to excel at one field, but moderately good at all areas, and having a balanced lifestyle and having a consistency. Yeah, the consistency is the key. So keep that lifestyle for many years, like 10 years, 20 years. You don't want to burn out after 1 year or 2 years. I see many people who are doing a lot by doing just incredible fasting, incredible, this optimal exercise and so on. But they don't last, they just give up after 1 year or so. And there's no point. You need to continue doing it. Consistency is the key. And to be consistent, you need to do it moderately. Yeah, you need to do it comfortably. Right. Okay, so that's it. Yeah. What do you think? Right. Thank you for watching. Again, My name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Biohacking. Now, if you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And please leave your comment. What did you think of the video? And what do you think are the factors for health and longevity? Thank you. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai!